Formula 1 2003 season review in 18 minutes. New rules from 2002. The grid. Australia. Enters conditions sees Raikkonen pit for fuel and new tyres at the end of the formation lap. Panis struggles starting on dries on a cooling track. Barrichello jumps the start but doesn't gain on Schumacher. End of lap 1, Ferrari ahead by almost 6 seconds. Barrichello crashes from second. Driver error. Safety car. Slow stop from Michael Schumacher. Safety car restart sees Montoya, Alonso, Trulli, Ralf Schumacher, Webber, Raikkonen, Michael Schumacher and Coulthard. Webber's suspension fails. Another safety car. Ralf Schumacher comes out of pit lane and spins at turn 1, also sending Alonso wide. End of second safety car. Heidfeld loses control, forcing Ralf Schumacher wide. Raikkonen versus Michael Schumacher. Raikkonen defends second. Montoya leads. Raikkonen incurs a drive-through for being 1 kilometre over the pit lane speed limit. He resumes 8th. Michael Schumacher's barge board is broken, forcing a pit stop by rule. Montoya leads and then spins. Coulthard inherits the lead. Coulthard wins. Close finish from Montoya 2nd, Raikkonen 3rd. Michael Schumacher 4th. Michelin's first full podium as a tyre supplier since returning in 2001. Malaysia. Alonso's first pole, the youngest at the time. Villeneuve stalls and doesn't know where to go. Fisichella parks in the wrong spot. Renault's starts strong. Michael Schumacher hits Trulli. Carnage. Montoya brakes and gets hit by Pizzonia. Montoya pits for a rear wing, falling 1.5 laps behind. Pizzonia for a front. Coulthard retires. Michael Schumacher has a drive-through for his collision with Trulli. Panis retires from 5th with fuel pressure problems. Trulli studies the back of Furman's Jordan, who is 7th. Raikkonen attains a 20-second advantage because he's fast. Trulli spins. Kimi wins. Barrichello 2nd. Alonso comes 3rd. 1956 was the last Spaniard on the F1 podium. Trulli and Michael Schumacher overtake Button on the final lap. Ralf Furman runs out of fuel and loses 9th to Frentzen. Ron Dennis cries. Kimi doesn't say much. Brazil. Kimi's smiling. McLaren are leading with their 2002 car. Ferrari haven't upgraded their car yet. Williams are scratching their heads with their new car. Barrichello gets pole in front of his home fans. Torrential rain meets tyre regulations. No team has full wet tyres. Safety car starts. Coulthard steals first from Barrichello. Kimi overtakes Webber for 3rd. Raikkonen takes Barrichello. Montoya takes Barrichello. Kimi then takes Coulthard. Montoya then takes Coulthard. Ralf Schumacher and Jarno Trulli collide. Michael Schumacher overtakes Rubens Barrichello. Montoya's tyres struggle and Coulthard takes 2nd. Michael Schumacher takes Webber, then Montoya for 3rd. Justin Wilson spins at turn 3. Ralf Furman has a suspension failure and hits Panis. Safety car. Pit stop chaos. New start and Kimi didn't pit. Montoya and Pizzonia spin at turn 3. Michael Schumacher spins at turn 3. His first non-finish since Germany 2001. Safety car returns. Raikkonen pits and is now 9th. Coulthard leads from Barrichello, Ralf Schumacher and a quick Mark Webber. Jos Verstappen spins at turn 3. Jenson Button spins at turn 3. Alonso has a drive-through for overtaking Webber during yellow flags. Webber spins at turn 3, but survives. Coulthard makes a mistake at turn 1 and Barrichello takes the lead at home. A fuel feed problem or a lack of fuel means Barrichello retires from the lead. Not since 1999 had both Ferraris not finished a race. Giancarlo Fisichella is 3rd, behind the McLarens. Trulli versus Villeneuve versus Frentzen. Coulthard pits and is 4th. Kimi makes a mistake and Fisichella takes the lead. Webber spins and has a heavy crash. Fisichella starts lap 56. Kimi pits. Alonso thinks the yellows are behind him as he crests the banked left-hander start-finish straight. He hits the debris hard. Safety car yellows become red flags. The race is stopped. Fisichella's car catches fire and is declared the winner, until he's not. Coulthard is sad to have pitted on lap 52. It's Adrian Newey. Kimi is now the winner. 3 out of 3 wins for McLaren in 2003. Between Eddie Jordan and Ron Dennis, someone's happy. Fisichella is sad to be a 2-minute winner. Until he is a winner. The regulations say that a race after 3/4 distance that are red flagged are reverted to the lap 2 laps prior to the incident. In this case, lap 54. Is that Kimi smiling? Imola, San Marino. Ralf jumps Michael. Webber has problems, impeding Villeneuve. Hard racing, but pit stops decide the outcome. Michael Schumacher jumps his brother Ralph. Montoya overshoots and has a slow pit stop. He falls from 4th to 6th. Villeneuve's car is damaged by fire. Kimi's quick, but on a different strategy. Montoya has another slow stop for Williams. The Iceman is pressuring Michael Schumacher. Good guy Michael lets Rubens through on his quick in-lap. Rubens has a slow pit stop, but he makes up for it and passes Ralph. Fisichelles' car expires. Michael Schumacher wins for the first time this year from Raikkonen and Barrichello. It is the last race for the 2002 Ferrari car. Spain. There's a new Ferrari, the F2003 GA. Ross Brawn says it's good. The Renaults get a great start. The dawn of Alonso's rocket launches at Catalunya. The Ferraris get close, but Trulli and Coulthard collide. Kimi's out after hitting a stationary Pizzonia. Montoya yeets past Button on the restart for 5th. Coulthard hits Button and is out. JB pits. Alonso jumps Barrichello in the pits. Michael Schumacher has made a few backmarkers. Alonso gets angry at Ralph Furman. Alonso challenges Ralph Schumacher and pressures him into a mistake. Williams vs Williams. And Montoya wins. No, Michael Schumacher wins from Alonso and Rubens. Austria. Michael Schumacher secures pole despite a huge drift at turn 2. Raikkonen has work done on the grid. Webber and Alonso have engine changes and start from pit lane. Cristiano D'Amata causes 2 false starts. Pizzonia passes Trulli. Verstappen retires. Safety car. Montoya gets annoyed at Michael Schumacher at the restart. Webber gets a stop-go penalty for breaking Parc Fermé rules. Barrichello has a refueling problem. Michael Schumacher has a refueling leak, fire and a slow stop. Michael Schumacher passes Raikkonen whilst Montoya suffers a water leak. Alonso has worked his way to 5th from pit lane. Pizzonia passes Fisichella. Alonso's engine fails. Oil on the track makes Michael Schumacher run wide. Ralph Schumacher runs wide. Coulthard and Button pass him. Fisichella retires with a fuel system problem. Cold affected Barrichello fights Raikkonen. Michael Schumacher wins, number 67. Monaco. There are track changes. Button has a horrible crash on Saturday. Sid Watkins assesses. It's a clean start, but Frentzen crashes. Safety car. The Michelin tyres fare better than Bridgestone. Montoya chases Ralph Schumacher for the lead. Ralph Schumacher pits first. Montoya is unleashed. Montoya stops whilst Raikkonen is stuck in traffic. Raikkonen pits, then Trulli, and Michael Schumacher takes the lead. Michael Schumacher pits. He rejoins 3rd ahead of Ralph Schumacher. Trulli is slowing Coulthard, and they come close in the pit lane. Ralph Schumacher locks up at La Rascasse and needs a 3-point turn. Alonso jumps Trulli and Coulthard in the pits. Williams caution Montoya about his engine as he holds off Raikkonen and Michael Schumacher for the win. Montoya's win is Williams' first in Monaco in 20 years. Canada. A qualifying error means Raikkonen starts from the pit lane on a one-stop strategy. Button is back from his Monaco accident. Barrichello hits Alonso. Pizzonia crashes after puncturing Trulli's tyre. Montoya spins, loses 4 places. Barrichello has his front wing changed. The Schumachers fight for the lead. Trulli spins due to faulty traction control. Coulthard passes D'Amata. Local hero Villeneuve has brake problems and retires for the 7th straight year at home. Michael Schumacher leaps Ralph Schumacher in the pit stops. Raikkonen has a tyre delaminate. Barrichello's left barge board is loose and is hit by D'Amata. Heidfeld retires with engine problems. Coulthard loses gears and retires. Raikkonen chases the weakened Barrichello. The Williams cars chase Michael Schumacher, who has brake problems. Alonso is catching Montoya. Michael Schumacher wins. He now has 999 career points and leads the title for the first time this year. Panis gets his first points of the year. Europe. Nürburgring. Raikkonen has pole. Ralph Schumacher jumps Michael Schumacher. Panis almost jumps Montoya. The Renaults fight each other. Trulli remains ahead of Alonso. Kimi is the flying Finn. Heidfeld passes Verstappen. Villeneuve spins. Raikkonen's engine gives way. He retires from the lead. Ralph Schumacher takes the lead. Trulli retires with a fuel pump failure. Panis retires with brake problems. Coulthard has a slow stop due to a sticky fuel hose. Montoya chases Michael Schumacher and Michael Schumacher spins. He's stuck. He then gets pushed back onto the track. Coulthard tries to pass Alonso, but spins out of the race. Ralph Schumacher wins. Heidfeld finishes 8th, having started from pit lane. Ross Brawn sledges Montoya. France. Michael Schumacher loses third to Raikkonen. Coulthard challenges him 2. Barrichello spins. Button has a refueling problem and retires. Alonso's engine blows, as does Fisichella's. Trulli retires. Coulthard has a refueling problem and takes off with it still attached. No injuries documented. Montoya hopes to jump Ralf Schumacher in the pits, but fails. Michael Schumacher jumps Raikkonen in the pits. Ralf Schumacher wins, the second 1-2 in a week for Williams. Britain. None of the British drivers qualifies in the top 10. Barrichello is on pole. Clean start. Trulli takes the lead. Michael Schumacher closes the door on Alonso. Montoya takes 6th from Alonso. Coulthard's headrest padding has come loose and spraying debris at turn 1. He must pit and rejoins 19th. Safety car. Barrichello overtakes Raikkonen. A protester runs on track. Another safety car. Ferrari and Williams double stack. Montoya and Michael Schumacher are worse off. The Toyota's change of strategy at the first safety car means they are running first and second. Raikkonen overtakes Trulli, teammate Coulthard and Panis. Barrichello overtakes Ralf Schumacher after swapping places 3 times in a lap. Barrichello overtakes Trulli. Montoya overtakes Trulli. D'Amato pits from the lead after holding Raikkonen back for 20 laps. He rejoins 7th. Barrichello overtakes Kimi. Fisichella retires due to suspension failure. Michael Schumacher overtakes Trulli for 4th. Kimi runs wide and gifts Montoya 2nd. Rubinho wins. Germany. Jaguar sack Pitzonia, promoting Justin Wilson up from Minardi. Minardi find Nicolas Chiesa. Montoya takes his first pole. Ralf Schumacher, Raikkonen and Barrichello crash. Ralf Schumacher will take a 10-place grid penalty at the next race. Furman, Frentzen and Wilson also crash. Montoya leads the pack. Alonso runs wide, letting Michael Schumacher through. Chiesa parks it near the apex. Trulli defends, forcing Michael Schumacher wide, but Michael Schumacher passes. Struggling Trulli pushes Coulthard wide. Coulthard then passes. Michael Schumacher has a puncher with 3 laps to go. Montoya wins by over a minute, taking pole position and the fastest lap. Coulthard has his first podium since Australia, and Trulli has his first podium in 4 years. Hungary. Ralf Schumacher's penalty was reduced to a fine. Furman has a big crash on Saturday practice and won't be racing due to a bruised heel. He is replaced by Hungarian driver Zsolt Baumgartner. Alonso is on pole. Montoya and Barrichello set identical times for P4 and 5. Alonso gets away, the Williams are slow and Webber jumps into P2. Ralf Schumacher spins to the back. Barrichello gives back P2 to Webber after cutting the chicane. Raikkonen and Trulli swoop past him. Villeneuve retires with hydraulic pressure problems. Raikkonen finally jumps Webber in the pit stops for P2. Barrichello's left rear wheel comes off. Ralf Schumacher overtakes Michael Schumacher. Baumgartner's debut at home ends in retirement. Michael Schumacher almost runs out of fuel before his pit stop. Ralf Schumacher overtakes Webber for 4th. Alonso laps Michael Schumacher. Montoya spins near the end. Alonso wins and becomes the new youngest winner in Formula 1 and the first from Spain. Both Minardis finished the team's 300th Grand Prix, P12 and P13. Italy. Ferrari and Bridgestone protest Michelin's tyre width. Changes make development more difficult for Michelin teams. Motorsport director for BMW, Gerhard Berger, leaves after 24 years. Ralf Schumacher crashes heavily during testing and is replaced by Marc Genet for the race. Last race pole sitter and winner Alonso starts last due to spinning in qualifying. Fisichella starts from the pit lane. Michael Schumacher almost loses it into turn 1. Wilson is out. Alonso crashes but stays in the race. Trulli retires with a leak. Michael Schumacher and Montoya go side by side. D'Amato has a puncher and retires. Montoya, Michael Schumacher set the pace. Then Raikkonen and Barrichello put in the fastest laps. Alonso damages his car further. Montoya's second stint is quicker than Michael Schumacher. Montoya stops first, and Michael Schumacher pits and sees a Williams. It's Genet. Lapped Frentzen takes longer to let Montoya pass, giving Michael Schumacher some space. Loss of fuel pressure sees Coulthard retire. Michael Schumacher wins at Monza, his 50th Ferrari win. It's the fastest Grand Prix ever at an average speed of over 247 km an hour. Alonso takes P8 from Heidfeld on the last lap. The United States. 2 races to go. It's the first 3-way title battle since 1986. Michael Schumacher gets a super start, gaining 3 places. Barrichello has a gearbox issue which stunts his start. Montoya gets swamped by Alonso and D'Amato. Raikkonen holds the lead from Panis, Ralf Schumacher, Michael Schumacher and Barrichello. Coulthard overtakes Barrichello. Ralf Schumacher overtakes Panis. As it starts to rain, Montoya and Barrichello collide. Barrichello retires. Michael Schumacher overtakes Panis just before a yellow flag zone. Alonso tries the same, but times it too late. Coulthard overtakes Michael Schumacher, as the Michelin dry tyres fare better than Bridgestone in these conditions. Montoya overtakes Michael Schumacher. The track begins to dry, and Michael Schumacher is quickest. Montoya pits, and his fuel rig fails. He falls to 11th. Drizzling rain returns, and Raikkonen and Michael Schumacher pit for new dry tyres. The rain worsens. Raikkonen and Ralf Schumacher stay on dry tyres. Michael Schumacher changes to intermediates. Ralf Schumacher spins into the wall. Webber spins in the lead and retires. Raikkonen pits for shallow wets. Ralf Schumacher isn't happy. Montoya incurs a drive-through penalty for his collision with Barrichello. He serves it whilst on dry tyres and has to navigate a wet track to pit for full wet tyres. He comes out 11th. Button and Frentzen are 1 and 2 respectively. They lap Montoya. The track dries again and Michael Schumacher passes Raikkonen. Michael Schumacher and Raikkonen lap title rival Montoya. Coulthard stayed out on dries and pits for new dry tyres. Michael Schumacher passes Frentzen. Michael Schumacher passes Button for the lead. Button in P2 retires with an engine failure. Alonso's engine fails. Villeneuve's engine fails. Raikkonen passes Frentzen for P2. Montoya needs to pass Heidfeld for P5 to stay in title contention, but Heidfeld has lapped him. Bridgestone's superior intermediate tyre, Ferrari's strategy, and Michael Schumacher's brilliance win the race. Montoya is out of title contention. Raikkonen is 7 points behind for the final Grand Prix. Japan. Villeneuve doesn't want to race. Local man Takuma Sato takes his place. Wet-dry qualifying means Michael Schumacher is 14th. Raikkonen starts 7th. Barrichello is on pole. Michael Schumacher only needs Barrichello to win, and he is world champion. Barrichello, Montoya and Alonso lead the pack. Montoya overtakes Barrichello for the lead. He will set the fastest lap. Sato passes Wilson. Ralf Schumacher spins. Sato, Webber and Michael Schumacher fight for P8. He passes Webber, then hits Sato. Front wing damage. Slow stop. Michael Schumacher rejoins last, while Raikkonen is 5th. Montoya retires. This ends Williams' Constructors' Championship bid. Frentzen retires. Barrichello and Alonso pit together. Raikkonen pits. He's on a 2-stop strategy. Michael Schumacher passes Heidfeld. Alonso's engine fails. Fisichella retires. Ralf Schumacher has a slow stop. Michael Schumacher overtakes him. Coulthard's 3rd stop means Raikkonen's 2nd. Michael Schumacher fails to overtake D'Amato. Ralf Schumacher fails to overtake Michael Schumacher, clips his brother and spins. Barrichello wins, securing a 5th straight Constructors' Championship for Ferrari and guaranteeing Michael Schumacher's 6th title. Michael Schumacher finishes 8th to solidify 1 further point.